In the last few weeks, there has been a lot of focus on electricity generation. So can you imagine a world without electricity? In fact, it would not be wrong to say that without the generation and transmission of electricity, the modern world as we know it would not exist. So what powers electricity in India? Well, a host of sources, from hydel to renewables, but fossil fuels are the main source. Coal and coke generate over 70% of India's daily energy requirement. So in this episode of Science for a Self-Reliant India, the India Science team travels to the mineral-rich state of Jharkhand, which has over 26% of India's coal reserves. Here we visit the Mini-Ratna Central Coalfields Limited, which operates 43 mines across the region. CCL is a subsidiary of Coal India Limited. Here we visit two of India's most significant coal mining areas. Piparwar, where we see the process and technologies used in coal extraction in open cast mines, and importantly, in what is an exclusive report for the India Science series, our camera teams travel down an underground coal mine in the Churi area, where new technological tools such as the continuous coal cutting machines are running 24/7 to meet the demands of India's energy sector.
We can make our role in reducing the imports. Say, country is importing about 35 million ton coking coal and about more than 130-150 million this non-coking coal. If our share is done, last year say we have done 63 million. If this year if we do 74 million, so 11 million share, definitely will try to bridge the gap, supply and this demand. We will try to reduce the import coal by achieving our targets or doing more coal.
So in this episode, we look at processes and technologies used in coal extraction and also understand why coal will continue to be the backbone of India's energy basket for years to come, and how India is focusing to increase our Atmanirbharta by increasing coal extraction so that expensive coal imports can be completely supplemented by Indian coal by the year 2024-25. This and lots more on Science for a Self-Reliant India, so keep watching. Coal as a conventional source of energy plays an intrinsic and vital role in the overall economic development of most countries. It also plays a critical role in our economy, as 45% of India's total energy consumption comes from coal. With estimated coal reserves of over 319 billion tons, India is the world's second largest producer of coal after China. However, it still depends on imports to meet domestic demand, as we have not been able to fully exploit these resources. By the year 2024-25, this is likely to change, as capacities to extract coal are being augmented on a war footing. Until energy produced from renewable sources increases significantly, a process which will take more than a decade, coal will continue to power India. Fossil fuel contributes the largest source of electricity generation in India, powering over 70% of India's electricity. No wonder this mineral is also called black gold. In addition to power and electricity, important industrial sectors like iron, steel, cement and fertilizers are dependent on coal for meeting their daily energy requirements. Coal is one of the most affordable and abundant sources of energy. So what is coal? Well, it is a readily combustible black or brownish black sedimentary rock predominantly made of carbon. It is formed over millions of years through geological pressure applied on plant remains buried under the soil. Coal occurs in a wide range of forms and qualities in India. It is broadly divided into 4 categories. Anthracite or hard coal contains the highest amount of carbon out of all coal, between 86% and 97%. It is mostly used in industrial plants and metal industry due to its high heat value. In India, it is found only in Jammu and Kashmir. Bituminous coal. It is a medium grade of coal having carbon content between 45% and 86% with high heating capacity. It is the most commonly used type of coal for electricity generation in India. Most of it is found in Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. Subbituminous coal has lower carbon content between 35% and 45% and is primarily used for electricity generation. Lignite is the lowest grade of coal with the least carbon content between 25 and 35% and it has high moisture content. It is mainly used in electricity generation and is found in the regions of Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Jammu and Kashmir. Coal has been part of India's history for centuries. However, commercial mining started in 1774 from Raniganj coal fields in West Bengal. The introduction of the steam locomotives and the First World War were major events which sparked both the production as well as importance of coal in India. Although the growth remained slow due to low demand until the British ruled India. But this changed in 1947 when India achieved independence. Since then, there have been huge strides in usage of coal to meet India's growing energy appetite. The National Coal Development Corporation was established in 1956 with the aim of increasing coal production efficiently by the systematic and scientific development of the coal industry.
Basically, CCL formed in 1975. To understand, CCL, some of the mines are working from 1956 in NCDC time. Basically, the mines were operating from NCDC in 1956. After formation of Coal India, CCL became subsidiary of Coal India in 1975 with a production of 22 million. After that, from 1975 to up to 2006, the production in 3 decades, it has come up to a level of 42 million. So, from 22 to 42, about 80 to 90% increase. After that, 2006, from 2014-15, it has crossed 60 million. So, last 4-5 years, it is in the range of 62 to 67 million. Last year, because of Corona, 63.4 million we have done in coal production and 103 million in OB with a dispatch of 67 million.
At the beginning of independent India's first 5-year plan in 1951, coal production was 33 million tons, which rose to 73 million tons in 1970 and 313.4 million tons in 2000. And in 2020, the country produced nearly 731 million tons of coal. In the financial year 2021, Chhattisgarh registered the highest coal production of some 158 million tons, followed by Odisha at 154 million tons, Madhya Pradesh at 132 million tons, and Jharkhand at 119 million tons. Like previous years, in the financial year 2021, Jharkhand was the top producer of coking coal with an output of nearly 44 million tons, or 99% of the total coking coal production of India. The Government of India has been making earnest efforts to shift its focus to renewable energy, including solar energy and wind energy, and is focused on achieving its target of 175 gigawatts of renewable power capacity by 2022. Despite the ambitious plans to shift to renewable energy, India is expected to be dependent on coal for more than 45% of its electricity generation even in 2040. To take a closer look at how coal, which fuels India's energy demands, is extracted, processed and reaches the end users like thermal plants, we travel to the mineral-rich state of Jharkhand to visit the coal mines operated by Central Coalfields Limited. CCL is a Category 1 Mini-Ratna company which was formed in 1975 and is one of the 5 subsidiaries of Coal India Limited. CCL presently operates some 43 mines, out of which 38 are open cast mines and 5 are underground mines. In addition to the mines, CCL has 5 washeries to process the coal. In India, coal is mined using both underground and open cast methods. However, the majority of the coal extracted in India is through the open cast method, and it constitutes over 90% of the total coal production in the country. The share of the open cast method of coal production has increased over the years because of its economic viability and less wastage. Open cast mining or open pit mining is a surface mining technique where overlying rock and soil materials are removed to extract the underlying coal deposits. The excavated area forms a pit which is known as mine pit. Open cast mining method is used because of its more accessible mode of extraction, a higher rate of production, safety concern, and the higher scope of applying modern technology for augmenting production. To really see for ourselves what open cast mining is all about, we travelled to the Piparwar coal fields in Jharkhand. The first step for open cast mining is to identify the coal deposits and then remove the soil and rock above it. After the soil cover is removed, drilling and blasting is used to break the coal deposits. Then, shovel dumpers dump the coal onto trucks which then transport it to the stock area or to the washeries.
कोल की डिपॉजिट जहाँ भी होती है, ये बेसिकली सेडिमेंट्री डिपॉजिट है और कहीं-कहीं पे ये क्या है कि इनक्रॉप करती है. इनक्रॉप मीन्स कि सरफेस तक हमको पहले मिलती है, वहाँ से हम एक्सेस कर सकते हैं.
Wherever the coal deposits are, they are sedimentary deposits. At some places, it incrops to the surface. Incrops means it is found very near to the surface and is easily accessible. So first, the soil over the coal, which is known as overburden, is removed by drilling and blasting in case of hard rock and by excavation in case of soft rock. So after drilling, blasting and excavation of the overburden, coal is extracted and transported with the use of shovel-dumper combination in case of drilling-blasting method, where the shovel loads the coal in the dumper and it is transported either to the dump site or to the washeries for further processing.
डंपर से हम लोग इसको सरफेस में या तो कोयला स्टॉक के डंप में ले जाते हैं या भाई हाईवा हम लोग डायरेक्टली साइडिंग या वासरी में कोयले को भेजते हैं.
The other method of coal extraction is by using surface miners. This is a relatively more environmentally friendly technique that does not require blasting, which leads to pollution because of noxious gases. Surface miners have a provision of sprinkling water, so it also reduces the dust, and the machine also cuts the coal blocks into a size of less than 100 mm, so they can be transported directly to the end users.
सरफेस माइनर का एडवांटेज क्या है? पहला एडवांटेज है कि इसमें ब्लास्टिंग की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. इससे क्या है कि वाइब्रेशन भी नहीं होता है.
First advantage of the surface miner is that we do not require blasting to cut through the surface, and it also eliminates any kind of surface vibration and air pollution. Second advantage is that it has inbuilt water spraying arrangement, by which the dust generated during the coal cutting gets suppressed right there at the source. Third advantage is that earlier, if drilling and blasting method was used to extract the coal, bigger machinery was required. But when surface miner is deployed on site, the crushing arrangement is not needed, as it is an all-in-one kind of equipment which provides sized coal which can either be sent to the washeries or can also be sent directly to the end user.
रेलवे वैगन वहाँ से एंड कंज्यूमर को, चाहे वो पावर यूजर्स हो या कोई अदर्स यूजर्स हो, वहाँ हम लोग डिस्पैच करें.
The coal which has high ash content is sent to washeries and cleaned with water and air pressure to reduce the ash content to less than 34% as per government standards. After this, it is ready for transportation to power plants or other industries.
एश परसेंटेज रिड्यूस करने से एक तो कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू बढ़ गया कोयले का, दूसरा है कि
By reducing the ash percentage, high calorific value of coal can be achieved. This coal is further sent to power plant where it is burned to heat the boiler, which generate steams, and then the turbine moves, which generate electricity. So when the ash which comes out from the chimney while burning the coal plants which are nearby any metropolitan city can cause major damage to the population. So as far as the environment is concerned, this reduction of ash percentage is very important. Otherwise, the population residing in 4 to 5 kilometer radius, this ash coming out from the chimney can pose serious health concerns.
फैलेगा जो कि लोगों के हेल्थ के लिए ठीक नहीं है.
The open cast mining method is also useful for extraction of shallow coal seams that spread over horizontally and are situated over a larger area. Removal of underlying materials exposes the underlying coal seams and help to extract the coal strata. Therefore, it recovers a more significant amount of coal than the underground method, and wastage of coal is also less. In open cast mines, full exposure of coal seams and application of modern and sophisticated mining techniques also reduces the amount of coal wastage. With the use of modern equipment and scientific techniques, while blasting, excavation, extraction and transportation of the coal, productivity and production cost is reduced significantly. The underground mining method is the oldest method of coal mining, where coal is extracted by making a tunnel into the earth's surface. Tunnels and horizontal shafts are made in order to extract the coal. Thus, a network of tunnels is formed underground. More than 60% of the coal production in the world is extracted from underground mines. However, in India, only 7 to 8% of the overall coal production is from underground mines. Underground mining has evolved from the pick and shovel method to the modernized mechanized technologies. In India, 90% of the total underground coal production is done by the bored and pillars method, and the rest is extracted by the longwall mining method. Bowl and pillars method is the most common method of underground mining. In this method, a series of pillars are made to support the roof while the coal is extracted between the pillars. Bored and pillars mining method is more suitable for shallow coal seams where the pressure of overlying material is low, so the pillars are able to support the roof. As the majority of the underground mines are small in size, the application of the bored and pillar technology is economically viable. Continuous mining is another commonly used method in underground coal mines. Continuous coal cutting machines cut the coal face in front of the machine as it moves forward, with the coal moved away from the face by a conveyor system behind the machine. This method is based on the room, board and pillar systems, in which a checkerboard of cross-cutting tunnels leaves a series of square unmined pillars of coal. The unmined pillars of the coal seam provide roof support for the ongoing mining process. These may be fully or partially extracted during the machine's retreat from the already mined areas, allowing the roof to cave in throughout the areas where all the coal has been removed. At the Churi mines in Jharkhand, coal is extracted without drilling or blasting. Here, the continuous coal cutting machines are used for coal extraction. This coal is then transported using battery haulers. These are non-sparking and non-fuel based machines which then transport the coal to feeder breakers where it is cut into pieces of less than 100 mm. The coal is then shifted to the conveyor belt from which it is sent to the coal handling plants.
यहाँ पर जो हाईली मैकेनाइज्ड माइन है उसका वर्किंग प्रोसेस विदाउट ड्रिलिंग एंड ब्लास्टिंग मेथड है. इसमें
The working process of the highly mechanized mines here are without drilling and blasting method. In this method, the cutting of coals is done through continuous coal cutting machine. The cutting here is done through slicing method, which are already used in developed mines. After the cutting is done by coal cutting machine, it is taken to a new equipment called battery hauler machine, which does all the work without the electric cable supply. The battery hauler goes and unloads near the conveyor belt at the feeder breaker machine, and after that it gets crushed in an underground crusher at 100 mm sizes. This then travels through a sequence of conveyor belts to the surface. From there, the coal is dispatched and sent to different industries.
-100 mm में क्रश करने के बाद वो हम लोग सीक्वेंस ऑफ बेल्ट में डाल के हम लोग सरफेस तक CHP में ले जाते हैं, जहां से उस कोयले को हम लोग डिस्पैच करके साइडिंग तक ले जाते हैं।
During the year 2020-21, CCL's coal production was over 62 million tons, of which around 75% or 52.89 million tons of coal was dispatched to the power sector, and the remaining to crucial industries like steel, cement, chemicals, among a host of others. India has nearly 270 major thermal power plants dependent on coal to generate some 71% of India's total electricity. So coal mines like Piparwar and Churi are indispensable for powering India and also for large-scale employment generation. What is also important for the country's progress is the mission to improve the entire coal chain, from the mines to the generation of electricity. A mission that the Government of India has been focusing on by leveraging science and technology like improved coal mining techniques, higher extraction of coal to meet domestic demand, new technologies for existing thermal power plants to cut down pollution, and to reduce water usage for power generation. These steps translate into an Atmanirbhar Bharat and an economically and socially stronger country.